Hey everyone! If you're enjoying the coverage of the Pro Play Tour Online series, just remember, you can play in one yourself. Every Thursday you can enter our free weekly 64-player tournament with invites to the entire Top Cut. Every Saturday is our weekend championship, where you can enter a YCS-type event with 100% payout and even a cash payout option. The more players, the bigger the prizes. Can't commit time to play in our one-day events? We also host multiple 8-man pods daily, ready to fire on demand on your own schedule. All these events award invites to our free invite-only Players Championship, May 9th through 10th, with prizes supplied by our sponsors. For more information, visit ppgeventmanagement.com and come play with the pros.
Jam1 from Jam1 TCG coming at you guys with some totally awesome commentary. We are back at round 2, season 2 of the PPG online series championship weekend, and I am joined here with Dale from Zephyr War Gaming's YouTube channel, and we're about to see some exciting epic duels. It looks like we see Plunder Patrol. That is interesting. What do you think about that, Dale?
Yeah, I mean, I love Plunder Patrol. I think when they first came out, or when they kind of teased what it was going to be, pirates that pay for nothing, I didn't really envision tiny green goblins, but the new support in Eternity Code certainly takes this deck to a whole new level that it needed.
Indeed. I'm not too well researched, but I do know that one problem was Master Rule 4, because they have a lot of different extra deck monsters, from Exceeds to Synchros and all kinds of things. So I know that Master Rule 5 definitely gave them a boost as well, not only with just their new cards that just came out.
Yeah, I mean, they received a new fusion monster, which gives them the ability to negate monster effects. Their XYZ allows you to destroy or banish face-up monsters, I believe, and the Synchro is back row, so they've kind of got all the areas covered. But the idea is that you get to your Plunder Patrol monsters for a monster attribute that your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. So it really is reliant on your opponent's plays, and it looks like YuGiOh is playing Adamancipators, so this will be an interesting matchup.
Oh, we'll see. Been seeing some decks have some decent success facing Emancipators recently. I think it's now the point of the format where people are starting to figure out new strategies that actually can take out the best strategies. So I'm not sure what Plunder can do against this, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, even without a normal summon, the Adamancipator has got 3 level 4s, one being a monster negator, one being a tuner, and he still has extension. It looks like he's playing the 10-year Spirited Horrors as well.
I've seen that in a lot of lists lately, because all of them have some good synergy with the right attribute deck, because they are basically a free special summon.
Yeah, it looks like the Analyzer whiffed on that one, didn't really get any of the mills off of that. I think it was Block Dragon, 2 Adharas, one of the Adamancipator Monster Reborn, and a Researcher. But it's still, straight off the bat, if the Adamancipator player wanted to, he could go straight into a Synchro 8, but it looks like he's going into Gallant Granite, the Search of Block Dragon, or of course Researcher.
This still, like, even though a lot of people are tired of seeing it, ooh, Imperm here. It's pretty decent.
That's one way to get past Guardian.
Yeah, indeed. That's not a monster effect. Guardian only sells monster effects. I was gonna say though, the way, I don't know where he's gonna go from here, but they can definitely still go. The rock deck, the way it works is just it keeps going, and it depends what you get to which play you want to pivot to. But that denying a search there and the combination of it missing might be enough to make it have a really weak board. Maybe Plunder can do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest weaknesses right now, is the fact that he doesn't have a tuner to go into. I mean, that could have been another safe bet, is to go into the Halley Firebrax play. But the Granite was probably the right way of going to get the Researcher to extend even further. And it reminds me a lot of Light Swans, in a sense that, obviously a little bit more consistent than Light Swans, but it's all about, like you said, their mills, their extensions, their reveals, their excavations, to how far the deck can go. And it's certainly one of the most powerful decks of the format. People argue between this and Eldritch for what number 1 is. I think Eldritch just pip it, just for the pure fact of how much it's been able to do. But they're a very, very close second.
Indeed, I think the what we just mentioned, the RNG of it all. I really think that Eldritch is more balanced in the sense that you can keep going most of the times, and you have the hand to do it. But that whiffing with the rocks, it is a possibility, and it can always happen. Sometimes in the wrong situations. We see a Foolish Burial coming down. Oh wow, I haven't seen this combo in a while. So Foolish Burial into Metalfoes Fusion. When Metalfoes Fusion is in your graveyard, you can shuffle it back into your deck and draw a card. So it's like gonna like gets you an extra draw, almost like a what am I saying? Upstart Goblin kind of ish. Sucks though if you draw it. It's like the worst part of it.
Yeah, depending on what type of build Nick is playing, if he plays the dangers, what Plunder Patrols like to do is they like being sent from the field or hand to the graveyard. So dangers can actually really help this deck extend that bit further. And here's one of the brand new cards, the emblem of the Plunder Patrol. So you get to equip this to a Plunder Patrol monster in general, and it gains 500 attack, and your opponent cannot target it with card effects. And then you get to send the equipped card to the graveyard to special summon one Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster on the field or in the graveyard. What makes it different is it actually allows you to bypass having to rely on your opponent. It means you can actually to dictate some of the plays you make from your extra deck. Alongside that, the reason people play Foolish Burial Goods in this deck is not so much just for Metalfoes Fusion, but some of the other brand new Plunder Patrol cards do not mind being in the graveyard as well.
That's interesting. So I'm not sure how heavily reliant they are on their normal summon either, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and normal summon this water one. Whitebeard.
Yep, and it looks like he's banishing the Plunder Patrol shipping. Yeah, all the S's. And this basically allows you to equip an emblem from your deck to your Plunder Patrol. So straight away, we're now going to be able to see the type of play that he can execute using emblem. Sadly, I think he's only got Earth and Water to play around with. But it does give you your Link monster for pretty much one material.
So we got Blackbeard dropping to the field. And gotta love the artwork of this archetype. It's definitely colorful and interesting for indeed.
Yeah,
enough to get over the Gallant.
With the field spell, all Plunder Patrol monsters gain 500 attack for each Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap card zone. So obviously he gains an additional 500 due to Whitebeard basically being there. And Blackbeard has a very nice quick effect that you target one effect monster you control, and you get to special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. Now obviously the biggest downfall for this is all of Adamancipators players are probably going to be relying on Earths until they start to dig into their extra deck.
Right. And this, we see this power of the tangy spirit things that we were mentioning. Each attribute lets them do different things, but yeah, it's a free summon. So there's the Earth one that helps them extend. I didn't notice this, but that Earth one is even a tuner as well. So even more synergy with the Rock deck here.
Yeah, it's crazy consistent, and just the fact, again, it's a free summon that can lead you into Halley Firebrax plays. It could lead you into any level 5 synchro plays if they played them, and it can also help you just extend that bit further that you might need.
And then here we see a Monster Reborn coming down. It's just me, but I would have been paranoid to play it in this zone after he just got imperm the other time. But
I think it's a natural, it's an inherent thing that you just do. Is I find myself doing this all the time. Is I always play my spells and traps when I've got an empty back row in the center.
Is this Plunder Patrol Booty?
So it allows him to turn one of his opponent's monsters' attribute into a different attribute, and then that allows him to dictate the extra deck summon that he makes.
Fascinating. Well, more researched in this deck than I. Do you know what their like main win con is? Is it just summon big monsters from extra deck and win, or do they more of a control style? What do they do exactly?
It's a bit more of control style. I mean, you've got this one here, Murloc, which basically you discard a Plunder Patrol card, which they will then get their additional effects off if you're discarding one of the monsters, and you get to target an effect monster your opponent controls and banish it. So within a retrospect, it does control the board a lot more, but then it's all about having the field spell in play to beef your monsters up strong enough in order to deal with big threats on the board. So it has the balance between the two, really depending on what angle you want to focus on.
Interesting. See what angle he wants to go on here, Nick. See what he wants to do.
I mean, all of his monsters right now are getting a nice 1500 attack boost. Not that that really matters if YuGiOh can bring out a Dragite, because all of that can pretty much disappear in the blink of a excavation of 5. But he does have the ability to quick effect, with Murloc being attached with a Plunder Patrol, to banish one face-up effect monster his opponent controls.
Oh, the struggle, but he got to the Holly 5, Hackle 5.
I mean, this is interesting that he allowed. Surprised he didn't. Maybe he doesn't have a Plunder Patrol in heart. I think he just searched that out. I would like to think that he would have interrupted the Halley Firebrax play at some point, but I mean, I suppose if he gets rid of Halley Firebrax now, well, even then, YuGiOh hasn't even used his normal summon, so depending on what those last 2 cards are in his hand, the disruption now might not be as devastating as you would like it to be.
Indeed. Just a thing, they just extend so far. Ooh, wow, that's nice. Trishbania coming to the field.
Well, the best thing about this is he can pretty much trigger it instantly by bringing the token back off of O-Lion, and that is going to banish all of the Plunder Patrol spells and traps. I would like to think you've got a train interested. He chose not to chain the Murloc. I'm assuming he's holding on to his onto whatever he drew or whatever he searched.
Which that Trish hurts, and then like Trish will also burn him from the damage that he received for all of those that were banished.
I mean, the Trishbania's certainly got enough to deal with the Blackbeard, but not enough to deal with Moracle, obviously. And it'll be interesting to see how Nick follows up with this and remain in what is in YuGiOh's hand as well.
Not looking good for Nick now, though, because running low on resources, that was a big wipe right there.
I honestly don't think Nick was expecting the Trishbania, otherwise I would have liked to have thought that he would have interrupted the Halley Firebrax kind of build-up into this card. And then I think once that happened, it was a bit too late for him to respond in an effective manner.
Indeed. This is only the first time I've seen them playing Trishbania. I know I've seen some lists with it, but it's not as common because they need a lot of space for their extra deck. But it's a good call, though, honestly, with Eldritch running on around, banishing their cards like that, denying any graveyard effects is really powerful. So we see this trap card. What does this one do?
So he's using, he's using the effect of the ship to kind of get rid of Trishbania. And then it gets the effect to search out a Plunder Patrol card, which is going to be the field spell.
He gets the shipyard back. Good impressions, you guys.
So I believe he's ditching the Call by the Grave to get the search off of the shipyard. And this will allow him to add 1 Plunder Patrol card. I mean, this is the best thing about all of the cards within the Plunder Patrol, is it, rather than saying add a Plunder Patrol spell, as trap or monster, it allows you to add any Plunder Patrol card. So it gives you full free reign over what you want to search. And obviously he goes for the most influential card in the deck, and that is of course Whitebeard.
That's powerful what you just mentioned. An archetype that can search any of its cards is really strong. Getting Sky Striker vibes here. So that's what made Sky Striker so consistent. Like with Engage, just grabbing whatever you need.
I mean, it's not looking too good for YuGiOh, but with an Adamancipator deck, we have seen that one single card can unlock their entire hand. And I mean, if he was about to top deck a Block Dragon right now, it would be the perfect time. Or a Doki Doki.
Doki Doki's pretty nice too.
As long as he's got a card in hand to discard to fuel it, which I assume he would have, otherwise you wouldn't normal summon it.
Exactly. And Plunder Patrol here, just bringing out the Blackbeard.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, because the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword's in the graveyard. Very
Wow.
So what just happened there was because he had the Destruction Sword in the graveyard, which was a dark, he was able to use Blackbeard's effect to target that dark monster, special summon a second Morik from the extra deck, equipped it with the other Morik on the board, add a Plunder Patrol card, and get rid of the Doki Doki before YuGiOh was able to do anything.
That's pretty good, especially right now. Yada is like running out of resources. That normal summon was very important, and now he should be able to take it from here. Looks like Nick might have this game at this rate, but I don't know again how fast that this deck can like put damage on board. So that might also depend what happens next here.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the very least, they're all up by a K, so he's got a total of 46 damage on board, with YuGiOh being near enough untouched. Now they're receiving a 1500 attack boost, which is obviously always going to be quite nice. He used Golden Hair's effect in graveyards. By discarding a card, he could special summon it, but he can't special summon for the rest of the turn except Plunder Patrol monsters. So this will be interesting as to where he goes from here. I'm not too sure if he has enough for game, but he might be able to surprise us all.
Already pretty surprised with what this deck can do.
I think that's exactly game. Both Blackbeards are sitting on 36, and the Morik in on 3k, so that's a total of 10-12. 10-2, sorry, I believe. Yep, and that will be game 2.
Still looking to earn your invite for the free Players Championship on May 9th and 10th? Visit ppgeventmanagement.com to learn about the different qualifiers available. From one-day events to play-on-your-own-schedule events, all events offer a buyback or cash option along with a 100% credit option redeemable towards any future pre-order at competitive prices. Grinding and getting paid to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Has never been easier. Play with the most professional worldwide tournament series today and join the online community. Come join us on Discord for assistance, info, and even discussions about future events.
Obviously, YuGiOh is probably going first, most likely, most definitely, to build those crazy boards that we've seen in the past. Do you think the Plunder Patrol will be able to actually break through those boards?
Yeah, I think it's clearly in Nick's interest right now. So the Plunders are actually quite good at going second because it allows the opponent to build up their graveyards. It's already putting attributes in the graveyard. The only thing YuGiOh can do that will really, really slow down his opponent is possibly set up the Buster Dragon lock, which we've seen he main decks. Try to avoid put any darks into the graveyard because that's kind of where the Morik comes from. On top of that, I suppose Nick has the advantage because if he gets that Dark Ruler no more and there's no Buster, there we go. Having to open up that Buster is not good at all. It's really going to hurt YuGiOh.
Thanks.
I mean, the one plus side is that the Dragon Buster is a tuner, so it does give him access to Halley Firebrax, but you kind of know it's already bad when you've had to use your normal summon to do something like that and met with an imperm.
This is rough. Seems like he hasn't had the most consistent of hands, YuGiOh, here. And again, I think maybe that's why we're seeing people gravitate more to the Eldritch over this, because although its ceiling level is off the roof, sometimes consistency is not always there.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of got to feel bad for YuGiOh in these ones that in both Game 1 and Game 2, assuming he plays the Destruction Sword as a 1, he saw it in his opening hand both times, and that's something you really don't want to see.
Burial may be able to let him continue here. It's an Ash too. So sending out the Alliance effect triggering and bring out a token.
I mean, this is the one downside is, now that he's passing the turn, he's
Oh no!
left the Buster Dragon in graveyard as well, so Nick has a lot to go off of just with that one card being there. And depending on how well Nick has opened up, this could be over sooner than we think. I don't expect an OTK, but I certainly feel he'll have enough to kind of put YuGiOh on the back foot and control the board from here on out, if he's opened up well enough.
I didn't think a Dark Ruler was too necessary here, but I mean, it does make sure that he can't respond at all to what's about to go down right here.
I mean, I personally would have held on to that Dark Ruler, unless he's opened up multiples of them. I've been guilty of it in the past, is I've dropped a Dark Ruler thinking, it's right, I'm not going to need this again, and then regret it, but it doesn't look like he's opened up too broken either.
Oh no, this is a grindy thing. It could have been one-sided, but both players opening up very suboptimal here.
So we see the Blackbeard come out during YuGiOh's draw phase. That just allows him to kind of get the extra deck monster on board and get some extension plays going as well.
The ship put in some work that last game.
Mm-hmm. I think the only downside right now is YuGiOh does obviously have Halley Firebrax, which is a link 2 on board, so he's already got a couple of steps ahead. It really depends on what he's opened up in order to extend that bit further, but we know that anything dangerous comes down, Morik is going to deal with it, probably without a lot of disruption from YuGiOh as well. And he's also got 3 more cards and 1 face-down card, which could arguably be an imperm.
That's what I was going to say, what that face down could be. We did see an imperm before. Ooh.
Not good, not good. Not even just a simple straight-up pass.
Ow.
So now what he's able to do with the field spell in the graveyard is he can return a Plunder Patrol card in his spell and trap card zone to his hand and then set the field spell. So it allows him to put one of them back into his extra deck. So that's where the Blackbeard's going to go. And then his field spell is going to allow him to discard and search out Plunder. So he's now able to get his engine going a little bit more.
This game out fast, Nick does, because one right card drawn from the Emancipator player will literally turn the whole game around. But he might be so far ahead in establishment now that it really won't matter.
I mean, it really depends on what that back row is. He's got enough control with... pulled by. We all forget the second effect of O-line. Very, very cool. So it looks like Halley Firebrax jumped out into the Metal Marcher, but Plunders are still going strong, and there's the Salvage. The Salvage is going to grab back both Redbeard and Whitebeard as well. Very, very good play there from Nick. It does look like the control factor is sitting with Plunders at the moment, and they've got enough to kind of play through. Hard summoning that Blackbeard kind of just shows it as well. And it does look like Nick opened up with multiple Dark Rulers, which is really, really going to put him on the back foot. So being able to ditch those, hopefully he's not going to regret getting rid of them too early, but it does allow him to kind of move his plays further forward, get that Plunder Patrol monster that he needs for his hand, and then, of course, with Buster Whelp still being in his opponent's graveyard, he's going to be able to tap Blackbeard into Morok as easily and as possible as he can, without any fight back. Even though Plunders are moving a little bit slow, they're still doing very, very well. I mean, it takes them a while to get going, but once they've got their spells and traps in the back row, they can easily build up the attack boost of their monsters. So being able to roll with the ships and Blackbeard, and here comes a Morok again, really, really going to help them, or help Nick against YuGiOh as well. So it'll be interesting to see where. I mean, YuGiOh, all he needs to do is he top decks the right card and he can get right back into this game. But that Morok might be enough. Oh, Nibiru! That's certainly a card that's going to help him out massively. I don't think... Has Nick used anything that locks him into Plunders? Doesn't look like it. So it really depends if he's got enough to extend further off of this token. And the token is going to be sitting on not a lot of attack. I think 31 attack. And its defense is going to be sitting around. Its defense is about 47, so that's going to be quite good.
Everybody hear me now?
Welcome back.
Okay, yeah, sorry. My computer did some weird stuff, but wow, came back just in time to see Nibiru hitting the field. Still looks like anyone's game right now. From what I can see, I missed a few turns, but...
No, so I think we're just having a quick catch-up. Needle Fiber jumped out, brought on the Metal Marcher on board, and then the Nick kind of went into 5 summons. Nibiru got dropped on that, and the Nibiru token is sitting on 31 attack and 47 defense. And moving back over to YuGiOh.
Got it. And so YuGiOh's gone ahead and normal summon a Tackle Crusader. A lot of good things in this deck recently. Recent tech card, breakout tech that came out towards the end of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, he's now instantly got the ability to clear off Nick's board, getting rid of the field spell, getting rid of the Nibiru token as well.
The Cerberus effect will just get rid of it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, we're finally seeing Cerberus actually be used for what he needs to be used in his deck and not just a pawn. The whole strategy.
He's got the Block Dragon as well with 3 Earths. If you consider him getting rid of Cerberus, he then just needs to get Block Dragon off the field, and YuGiOh's entire deck opens up from that simple play.
The Cerb got some utility.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not too sure if I attack with a Cerberus. Maybe I would have got rid of the Cerberus for Block Dragon. Block Dragon does 2,500, so it's going to do a little bit of damage. But then I suppose his issue is really getting Block Dragon back off the board in order to get the searches that he needs.
Not sure what his thought pattern there was. I mean, it would be beefier. But then he would be dwindling his resources as well. But not that that matters, because they're both at a point right now, from what I can see, at low resources. But I think Plunder Patrol has some stuff that works in Graveyard, and he might have a little bit more right now.
Yeah,
The MVP.
I think Nick's just got the resources over YuGiOh. And like I said right at the start, the biggest weakness for YuGiOh is having that Buster Whelp in the graveyard from the very start. I think it just allows Plunders to get access to their most powerful extra deck monster without a lot of fight as well.
Well, as you say, they're taken from their opponent for free. Interesting how this archetype works. So it seems like the more things that your opponent does, the longer the game goes on, the stronger it gets.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, this is another interesting.
Light Aura Will. I haven't seen this card in forever. Will Lightning Storm for monsters, like just wipe all attack position monsters. It's big, it pierces, and it can attack twice. Pretty good.
Yeah, this is a very interesting tech they put in. So some of the new cards that they received, or Plunder Patrols received, were basically free special summons in the form of Bluebeard and Golden Hair. So it just allowed them to make synchro plays, as long as they don't lock themselves into Plunders, a lot more consistently. And Emblem is going to basically turn Redbeard into any of the extra deck monsters that he wants. And there's the brand new one, Lice, as well.
Yeah, that's the secret out of this last set. Pretty cool.
So this one basically... another Nibiru!
Another Nibiru!
But
the effect of the ship?
Yes, exactly that. So Lysis, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you discard one Plunder card and negate the activation and destroy it. So it's a way out of Nibiru, and the fact that Lysis was also equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, he gets to add a Plunder Patrol card from the deck as well. So he basically gets to add back the one card he's just discarded and pretty much continue on from there. The fact that he is now sitting on a monster effect negation and a massive white aura whale, I would like to say that I think one, unless YuGiOh is going to pull off another top deck miracle.
It looks like this is Nick's game. Looks like Pirates are going to be stealing that loot again. They do. Wow. Plunder Patrol taking down the rocks. Just stole all their gems. And yeah. Bring some friends.
Hey everyone.